Hello, we're going to talk about how to configure GlueJobOperator in Airflow. So we can schedule it in Airflow and run it in Glue. That's it, basically. Before we start, why you should watch this video. I'm a data engineer. I've been a data engineer for 4 years now. I've created pipelines architectures in startups, consulting companies, product companies, and I've used this specific configuration in more than 70 pipelines. I know some issues that it can uh, come up. And if you want to use this configuration, I'll give you a 30-minute free consulting call to apply it in the company that you work on. So how to configure the glue job operator? We're going to go through some topics to encompass all of that. First of all, you have to create a glue job, and then you have to create the permissions in AWS. This is the trickiest part, and yeah, we'll go through it. Add the permissions to Airflow, create the DAG with the configurations, and then actually run the DAG. First of all, create the glue job. I've opted to use the visual ETL, but you can also just create a Python script or Python PySpark script and upload it to a bucket. But in this case, I wanted some simplicity on the job itself, so I just wanted to get data from S3, change the schema, and upload it to S3. And the important part here, if you use the visual ETL, just make sure that you are creating it in a path that you know where it is. Um, so you can retrieve it later and add it to your configuration. So in this case, I've added the job script to this bucket that I've pre-created, enable data, and then I've created also this folder to organize it and edit the job there. Then create the permissions in AWS. So the trickiest part, um, whenever you are creating a Glue job, like even if you want to run it in the Glue ETL like interface itself only, not with AWS, sorry, not with Airflow, you need to have this role that will be able to run the Glue job and have S3 permissions in this case, because we are retrieving data from N2 S3. And then you need a policy to actually trigger, because we cannot assign roles. Roles are only for services. So that's why Glue service can use a role specifically. Now, in this case, when we are assigning the permissions to Airflow, we need a user, because the user is able to generate access keys. And that's how we are going to add the permissions to Airflow. And to actually go back and use this role, we need to use it to have a policy that is able to use the role. And then the policy can be attached to user. And then as I said, the user can have the access key. So first of all, having this AWS Glue service role default. So this, as I said, we need it anyways to run a Glue job, because you need the role to be the one that Glue is using, and you can use the one that it's AWS managed. So this is the one that you would need only, but as we are using S3 data, we also need full access there. We can also like go down, drill down the specific accesses. This is way better, but for this example, I just want it very simple. So I've just added both AWS managed permissions. And then you can also create this role in Terraform, which I'll make available in the GitHub link in the description, the template that I've used. But you can, this this one you're creating the role itself, and then you are assigning the policy. So if you have like an AWS policy that you want to use, you can just refer its name, and then attach the policy to the role. Then we are going to create the policy that's going to use the role. In this case, we're only assigning here the IAM, get role and pass role, the actions that we need in this policy, and then we are assigning only the resource that I've talked about, the one that we need. And also you can see down here, like it's the same thing if you use the JSON, both in Terraform and in the visual tool in AWS. So you need here also, in this case, not only to use this role, like to be able to assign this role to the job, but also you need to be able to get the job, create the job, start the job run, and get the job run for every Glue job that you need. And then we are going to assign this policy that is able to not only use the role that is needed to run Glue, but also it's able to trigger a Glue job and get the information about that Glue job by having these permissions. So just create the user, assign that policy that's custom, and then the same thing like here in the Terraform, just create the user and then assign the policy to it. And last but not least, you generate the access key. I do it usually in the console because I find that Terraform is trickier. But if you want to, you can go ahead and do that. I just add it here as the console does. And that's it. You create the access key and you save that information. After that, we're going to add the permissions to Airflow. So this is a local environment that I've created, an Airflow with Docker. And here you just go to admin connections. In this case, it had already like the connection done, but you can just create one and add AWS default and Amazon Web Services as the connection type. And here is where you add your access key and your secret key, and also your region name in this format, else it won't work. And then you create the DAG. So now we have the job, we have the permissions, and Airflow is able to access those permissions. Now we're going to create the configurations, the DAG with the configurations. So we have here the necessary package that you need in your Airflow so that your Glue job is like it works. So I'm not sure, but I think it's necessary for the AWS default connection to work. Else it won't work as well. So you need that installed, and then you can you need to import it, the GlueJobOperator. And here you can see the configurations. This is a very basic configuration, but in my perspective, it's all you need for a basic job. So you need this is required. You need the script location, as I said, like in the beginning of the video. You would need your job to be in a specific location so you could refer it later. Here is where you refer it. So you have that scripts folder in the enable data bucket, and you have the job there. This is the role that is going to be used in the service. That's the thing that I said. We need it anyways for Glue because when you are creating the job in the interface, in the console, you also need it here, the IAM role. And then you have the Glue version. This is like basic configuration for your workers. The same thing here, I'm referencing it on the console. And the number of workers also, it depends on your job. And these are ones that are not required, but I would highly advise to use the retry limit. I also add it here, and the timeout. So both very important good practices when creating a job. In this case, I've added no retries, and the timeout for the job is 60 minutes. And you, after having created the job, added the permissions, created the permissions, added the permissions to Airflow, created your configurations, you can actually run the DAG. So here you can see the DAG was ran, and these are the logs that we can see in Airflow. So you can see that it checks if the job already exists, the test job. So task job is the job name in AWS, and task ID is in Airflow. So you can see here submit glue job in Airflow, and then it checks if there is a glue job here that is called task job. It retrieves the connection. It does like the connection, and then it assigns the role to the job, and then it generates this link, which is pretty cool. You can just click it. In the details, I think you have a button that you just click it and go to AWS Glue jobs, and then it pulls the job to see if it's running every couple seconds, and then it shows us when it's succeeded. And you can see here the job, it's called test job, as I said, and it has all the configurations that we set to DPUs, the Glue version, etc. So that's basically it. And a little bonus, the cost for this little experiment was $1.75. So if you want to do this, test it and know that it will have some cost. So if you like the content and you want to apply this, or you want to discuss this, we can give you here at Enable Data 30-minute free consulting. You have the description, in the description below, you have the links as well, but you can send us email, send us a message, or whatever you prefer. Hope to talk to you soon, and thank you for your time.